Listen to me carefully. What you went through, what they did to you, it wasn't by accident. It wasn't some mistake. God wanted them to hurt you. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. Some of you are sitting here holding on to pain like it's your identity. You're asking, why did they betray me? Why did they leave me? Why did they lie to me? Why did they break me? But you're asking the wrong question. The question isn't why did they hurt me? The question is, what did God want to build in me through that pain? See, you thought that heartbreak was meant to destroy you, but God was using it to elevate you. That rejection, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. That betrayal, it wasn't about them. It was about you seeing who's really supposed to be in your corner. God was pulling you out of spaces that were too small for the blessing he's about to pour into your life. You ever notice how diamonds are made? Pressure. You ever see how gold gets purified? Fire. So why are you crying over the heat? Why are you running from the pressure? God wasn't trying to break you. He was trying to reveal the greatness in you. Some of you need to stop praying for an easy life and start thanking God for the struggle. Thank him for the enemies, for the fake friends, for the doors that slammed in your face, because if they hadn't hurt you, you'd still be sitting in comfort, playing small, doubting yourself. But that pain, that was your wake-up call. That pain was God saying, I got something bigger for you, but you can't take them with you. You can't stay in that mindset. You can't stay in that weak version of yourself. So stop crying over who left. Stop complaining about who doubted you. Get up and use that pain. The people who hurt you, they didn't win. God did. And he's waiting for you to step into your purpose. Now move. Pain is one of the most misunderstood experiences in life. Most people run from it, try to avoid it, or even pray for it to go away. But the truth is, pain is not your enemy. It is your preparation. Pain is the tool that God uses to shape, refine, and prepare you for the greatness he has placed inside of you. Without it, you would remain weak, stagnant, and unaware of your true potential. Think about anything valuable in this world. Diamonds don't just appear in their shining brilliance. They start as mere carbon, buried deep beneath the earth under extreme heat and pressure. Without the pressure, without the heat, without the crushing weight of the earth above them, they would remain worthless. The same principle applies to gold. Raw gold isn't beautiful. It's mixed with impurities. It has to go through the fire, be melted down and refined before it becomes the pure, valuable metal that people desire. Pain works the same way in your life. God doesn't allow pain because he wants to see you suffer. He allows it because he wants to see you grow. He wants to strip away the weaknesses, the doubts, the insecurities, and the fears that are holding you back from stepping into your purpose. He allows the struggle because he knows that without it, you will stay the same. And staying the same means never becoming who you were created to be. Look at any great leader, any powerful person, any individual who has achieved something meaningful in life, and you will see one common theme. They have all endured pain. They have all been through something that tested them, broke them, and forced them to either rise or give up. The difference between those who fulfill their purpose and those who don't is not the presence or absence of pain. It's what they choose to do with it. You see, pain introduces you to a version of yourself you've never met before. It forces you to dig deeper than you ever thought possible. When everything is easy, when life is comfortable, you never have to tap into your full strength. You never have to stretch beyond your limits. But when pain hits, when you're knocked down, when you're betrayed, abandoned, rejected, that's when you find out who you really are. That's when you realize just how much power God has placed inside of you. Some of the greatest stories in history were birthed from pain. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused and imprisoned. Yet all of that was preparing him to step into his role as a leader. Without the betrayal, without the suffering, he would have never been in the position to save an entire nation. David was overlooked, underestimated, chased down, and hunted by a king who wanted to kill him. But it was in those painful moments that God was preparing him to be one of the greatest kings in history. Jesus himself was mocked, beaten, and crucified. Yet through his suffering, salvation was brought to the world. Pain is not there to destroy you. It is there to prepare you. Every tear you've cried, every sleepless night, every moment of rejection, every time you've been overlooked or doubted, it is all part of the process. God is strengthening you in ways you don't even realize. That pain is teaching you resilience. It's teaching you discipline. It's teaching you endurance. It's teaching you how to keep going even when everything inside of you wants to quit. Most people pray for an easy life, but an easy life doesn't build strong people. If you never go through anything, you will never develop the character, the wisdom, and the strength you need to handle what God has planned for you. That's why you can't curse your pain. That's why you can't spend all your time trying to escape it. You have to embrace it, learn from it, and let it shape you into the person you were meant to be. You can't grow in comfort. Comfort zones are the enemy of greatness. If you are comfortable, you are not growing. If everything in your life is easy, you are not being stretched. The most successful people in the world are the ones who learned how to push through their pain, who didn't let adversity stop them, who used every setback as a setup for something greater. Pain also has a way of revealing the truth about the people around you. When you go through hard times, you see who is really for you and who isn't. Some people only love you when you're winning. Some people only support you when it benefits them. But when pain hits, when struggle comes, the fake ones disappear and the real ones remain. That's why pain is necessary. It exposes the people who were never supposed to be part of your journey in the first place. Many of you are in a season of pain right now. You're wondering why things are so hard. You're questioning why certain people hurt you, why certain doors closed, why certain opportunities slip through your fingers. But what if I told you that this pain is the best thing that could have happened to you? What if I told you that God is using it to take you to a level you would have never reached otherwise? The pain is preparing you for the promise. The pain is pushing you into purpose. The pain is stripping away everything that is not meant to go with you into your next season. But you have to be willing to endure. You have to be willing to trust that God knows exactly what he's doing, even when it doesn't make sense. The problem is most people give up too soon. They let the pain break them instead of build them. They let the struggle convince them that they're not good enough, that they're not strong enough, that they don't have what it takes. But that's a lie. The fact that you're going through pain means that you are being prepared for something greater. It means that God sees something in you that you don't even see in yourself yet. If you could see the version of yourself that God is trying to create, you wouldn't complain about the pain. You would embrace it. You would understand that every challenge, every hardship, every setback is part of the process. You would stop asking God to take the pain away and start asking him to help you learn from it. You would stop seeing pain as punishment and start seeing it as preparation. You weren't meant to live an average life. You weren't meant to stay in the same place, doing the same thing, surrounded by the same small-minded people. God has something bigger for you, but you can't get there without going through the fire. You can't become who you're meant to be without enduring the process. This is why pain is necessary. It is the refining fire. It is the training ground. It is the weight room where your faith, your character, and your strength are built. Without it, you would remain weak. Without it, you would never step into the fullness of your destiny. Stop looking at your pain as a setback. Stop seeing it as an obstacle. Start recognizing it as the very thing that is shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. The pain is the process. The process is necessary. And if you can endure the process, you will step into a future greater than anything you ever imagined. Rejection is one of the most painful experiences a person can go through. It shakes your confidence, breaks your heart, and makes you question your worth. It can come from people you trusted, opportunities you prayed for, or situations you thought were meant for you. And when it happens, the first instinct is to ask, why? Why did they leave? Why did they betray me? Why didn't I get that job, that position, that chance? It feels unfair. It feels personal. It feels like a punishment. But what if rejection isn't punishment at all? What if rejection is actually God's way of redirecting you towards something greater? What if instead of being a sign that you're not good enough, it's actually proof that you're being positioned for something better? Too often, people take rejection as a sign to stop. They let it define them. They let it cripple them. They start believing that because someone didn't want them, because an opportunity didn't work out, because a door was slammed in their face, they must not be worthy of success, love, or happiness. But that's a lie. That's the enemy trying to trick you into giving up on what God has for you. Look back at your life. Think about the times you wanted something so badly but didn't get it. A relationship you fought for, a job you thought was perfect, a friendship you tried to hold on to. And now with time and perspective, you can see that what felt like rejection was actually protection. It was God keeping you from something that wasn't meant for you. It was God redirecting you towards something that aligned with your purpose. It was God saying, not here, not this, not them. I have something better. Rejection is not a reflection of your value. It's a revelation of your path. If God allowed them to walk away, let them walk. If he allowed that opportunity to slip through your fingers, trust that it wasn't for you. If he closed that door, don't waste your energy banging on it. Turn around and walk toward the door he has already opened for you. Too many people stay stuck because they keep looking back. They waste years chasing after people who were never meant to stay in their life. They cry over doors that were never supposed to be theirs. They hold on to bitterness, resentment, and pain because they don't understand that rejection is actually redirection. When you shift your perspective, everything changes. You stop seeing rejection as a loss and start seeing it as a lesson. You stop blaming yourself and start thanking God for saving you from things that would have slowed you down, drained your energy, or led you away from your destiny. You stop doubting yourself and start realizing that every no is just one step closer to the right yes. Every successful person has faced rejection. Every great leader, every powerful individual, every person who has achieved something significant has been told no more times than they can count. The difference is that they didn't let rejection stop them. They didn't let it define them. They understood that rejection is part of the process, that it is often a sign that they were aiming too low, thinking too small, or settling for something less than what they were truly meant for. Think about Joseph. He was rejected by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. At any point, he could have given up. He could have believed the rejection meant he was worthless, but instead he trusted that God had a plan. And that same rejection, that same series of painful events positioned him to become a ruler, to step into a purpose far greater than he could have imagined. Think about David, overlooked by his own family, rejected by those who should have believed in him, hunted by a king who saw him as a threat. But every rejection was just redirection. Every no was just moving him closer to the throne he was destined to sit on. Think about Jesus, rejected by the very people he came to save, mocked, ridiculed, betrayed, and yet that rejection was necessary for the ultimate purpose to be fulfilled. So what makes you think your rejection isn't part of a bigger plan? What makes you think that job, that relationship, that opportunity was the best thing for you? God sees what you don't see. He knows what you don't know. And sometimes he will allow rejection to push you out of situations that would have trapped you, out of relationships that would have drained you, out of environments that would have limited your growth. When you understand this, you stop taking rejection personally. You stop seeing it as an attack on your worth and start recognizing it as divine direction. You stop begging people to stay. Stop forcing things that aren't meant for you. Stop feeling sorry for yourself when things don't go your way. Instead, you say, thank you, God. I don't see the full picture yet, but I trust that this no is leading me to a better yes. The problem is most people don't trust the process. They don't see the bigger picture. They want to control everything. They want things to happen on their timeline, in their way, with the people they choose. But God's ways are higher. His plans are greater. And sometimes the best thing he can do for you is remove something you were never supposed to have in the first place. If you could see where God is taking you, you would stop crying over what you lost. If you could see the doors he's about to open, you wouldn't be wasting time knocking on the ones he closed. If you could see the people he's preparing to bring into your life, you wouldn't be chasing after those who walked away. You have to stop fighting for things that aren't fighting for you. You have to stop giving energy to people who don't value you. You have to stop mourning opportunities that weren't meant to be yours. Every time you experience rejection, remind yourself, this is not the end. This is just a turn in the road. This is just a course correction. This is just God saying, I have something better. Rejection builds resilience. It forces you to grow. It sharpens your faith. It teaches you patience. It humbles you. It prepares you. Some of the strongest people you know are strong because they have been through rejection after rejection and still kept moving. Some of the most successful people you admire got where they are because they didn't let no stop them. They understood that every setback was really a setup for something greater. Your job is not to question the rejection. Your job is to trust the redirection. Your job is not to dwell on the loss. Your job is to prepare for what's coming next. Because when God says no, it's not to harm you. It's to position you. It's to shape you. It's to make sure you don't settle for something less than what he designed you for. So when rejection comes, don't let it break you. Let it build you. Let it remind you that you are being moved, shaped, and positioned for something far greater than what you thought you wanted. Let it strengthen your faith and prepare you for the doors that will open in the future. Let it be the reason you keep going, not the excuse you use to stop. Pressure is something that most people try to avoid. The moment life gets hard, the moment things start feeling heavy, most people look for a way out. They look for an escape, a shortcut, an easy path. But what they don't realize is that pressure is necessary. Pressure is not there to break you. It is there to build you. It is the force that shapes you, strengthens you, and transforms you into the person you were always meant to be. Look at anything of value in this world, and you will see that it was created under pressure. Diamonds don't just appear out of nowhere. They start as simple carbon buried deep beneath the earth, where they are subjected to intense heat and pressure for thousands of years. Without the pressure, they remain just another piece of coal. Without the pressure, they never reach their full potential. The same is true for gold. Gold in its raw state is mixed with impurities. It has to go through the fire, melted down and refined before it can shine in its purest form. So why do people think they can become great without pressure? Why do they expect success without struggle? Why do they pray for an easy life instead of the strength to endure the hard moments? Pressure is a test. It reveals what you're really made of. When life gets tough, when the weight feels unbearable, that is when you find out who you truly are. It's easy to be confident when things are going your way. It's easy to be strong when there's no opposition. But real strength is built in the moments when you feel like giving up. When you feel like the burden is too heavy, when you feel like you can't take another step, but you do it anyway. Look at the greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most influential leaders. They didn't get to where they are because life was easy for them. They got there because they endured pressure. They faced challenges that would have made most people quit. They pushed through rejection, failure, and setbacks. They trained harder, worked longer, sacrificed more. They embraced the pressure instead of running from it. Michael Jordan didn't become the greatest basketball player of all time because he was naturally gifted. He became great because he put himself under more pressure than anyone else. He trained harder, practiced longer, pushed himself further. When he was cut from his high school team, he didn't let that failure define him. He let it drive him. That pressure turned him into a champion. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job in television and told she wasn't fit for TV. Most people would have taken that rejection as a sign to quit, but she used that pressure to become one of the most influential media personalities in history. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before he successfully invented the light bulb. 1,000 failures, 1,000 moments of pressure. But instead of giving up, he used that pressure to fuel his success. The reason so many people never reach their full potential is because they avoid Pressure. The moment things get hard, they quit. The moment they face resistance, they give up. They don't realize that pressure is a privilege. It means that something great is being formed inside of you. It means that you are being prepared for something bigger. The truth is, pressure creates two types of people, those who crack and those who rise. Some people fold under pressure. They let it break them. They allow the weight of life's challenges to crush their spirit. They complain, make excuses, blame others. They never step into their purpose because they refuse to endure the process. But then there are the ones who use pressure as fuel. They let the struggle make them stronger. They take every challenge, every setback, every hardship, and turn it into motivation. They refuse to quit. They refuse to let pressure break them. Instead, they allow it to mold them into something greater. Every time you feel pressure in life, you have a choice. You can see it as a burden, something to escape from, or you can see it as an opportunity, something that is making you stronger. Every challenge is a chance to grow. Every setback is a chance to learn. Every difficult moment is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. Think about a seed. A seed has to be buried in darkness before it can grow. It has to be put under pressure before it can break through the soil. Without that pressure, it never reaches the sunlight. Without that struggle, it never becomes a tree. Think about a caterpillar. It has to go through the pressure of the cocoon before it can become a butterfly. It is the struggle, the pressure, the fight to break free that gives it the strength to fly. The same principle applies to you. Every challenge you face, every obstacle in your path, every moment of struggle, it's not there to destroy you. It's there to develop you. It's there to prepare you for the next level. Some of you are in a season of pressure right now. You feel like life is squeezing you, like everything is weighing down on you, like the burden is too heavy to carry. But what if this pressure is exactly what you need? What if this season of struggle is what's going to take you to the next level? What if this pressure is the very thing that's refining you, shaping you, and preparing you for the blessing that's coming next? Most people pray for an easy life, but easy lives don't create strong people. Easy lives don't produce leaders. Easy lives don't build champions. If you never go through anything, you will never become anything. If you never face resistance, you will never develop strength. If you never experience pressure, you will never grow into the person you were created to be. Pressure forces you to level up. It forces you to push beyond your limits. It forces you to develop skills, discipline, and endurance. It teaches you how to fight, how to adapt, how to survive. The most powerful people in the world are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who endured the most pressure and refused to give up. Stop running from the struggle. Stop praying for comfort. Stop wishing for an easy path. Start embracing the pressure. Start seeing it as a sign that something great is being formed inside of you. Start recognizing that every challenge, every hardship, every difficult moment is making you stronger, wiser, and better prepared for what's ahead. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. You are not being crushed, you are being refined. The weight you feel is not meant to break you, it's meant to build you. It's meant to turn you into something greater. It's meant to reveal the power that has been inside of you all along. Pressure is necessary. It is the process that separates the weak from the strong, the ordinary from the extraordinary. It is what turns potential into greatness, dreams into reality, and struggles into success. It is not something to avoid. It is something to embrace, to endure, and to use as fuel for the journey ahead. Life will hit you hard. It will knock the wind out of you, leave you gasping, questioning everything you thought you knew. There will be moments when you feel like you've given everything you have, only to be met with more struggle, more pain, more obstacles. And in those moments, you have two choices. You can sit there crying about how unfair life is, or you can get up and start climbing. Most people choose to cry. Most people choose to complain. They talk about how life is hard, how people betrayed them, how they never got the opportunities they deserved. They blame their circumstances, their past, the people who hurt them. They let their pain become their excuse instead of their fuel. But successful people, strong people, people who make it to the top, they don't waste time crying over their struggles. They take that pain and turn it into power. They use every setback as a step forward. They refuse to stay down. They refuse to let life defeat them. You're going to get hurt. That's a guarantee. You're going to face disappointments. You're going to lose people you thought would always be there. You're going to experience rejection, failure, and heartbreak. But what matters is what you do next. Too many people let their pain define them. They let a breakup convince them they'll never find love again. They let one failure convince them they're not good enough. They let rejection make them shrink, make them play small, make them stop trying. They get so caught up in the hurt that they forget who they are, forget why they started, forget that they have a purpose that is bigger than their pain. Pain is not the problem. Pain is part of the process. Every great person you admire, every success story you've ever heard was built through pain. The difference is they didn't let it stop them. They didn't sit around crying, waiting for someone to come save them. They wiped their tears and kept moving. Think about people who climb mountains. They don't sit at the base looking up, crying about how high it is. They start climbing step by step, inch by inch. They understand that the only way to get to the top is to move forward, even when it hurts, even when it's exhausting, even when they feel like quitting. Most people give up before they even start. They see the mountain, and instead of finding a way to climb, they stand there making excuses. It's too high. It's too hard. I don't have the right equipment. I wasn't trained for this. And they stay stuck, watching others make it to the top, wondering why their life never changes. Nobody is going to carry you up that mountain. Nobody is going to do the work for you. You can cry about it all day long, but at some point you have to decide that your future is more important than your feelings. Life does not care about how tired you are. Life does not care about how unfair things have been. Life rewards those who push forward, who refuse to quit, who get back up every time they get knocked down. Some of you have been crying for too long. You've been sitting in your pain, replaying the hurt over and over, waiting for something to change. But nothing changes until you start moving. Nothing changes until you take action. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to cry for a moment. But after that, you have to get up. You have to make a decision that you are not going to stay where you are. You have to decide that your future is worth fighting for. You have to stop blaming people for where you are in life. Stop blaming your parents, your past, your circumstance. Stop waiting for someone to come fix everything for you. You are responsible for your own climb. Some of you have been knocked down so many times that you don't even believe in yourself anymore. You've started to think that maybe this is just how life is, that maybe you're not meant for more, but that's a lie. The only reason you feel like that is because you've been looking at your pain the wrong way. Your pain is not proof that you're not good enough. Your pain is proof that you're being prepared for something greater. Every struggle, every setback, every disappointment is just part of the climb. It's making you stronger. It's teaching you resilience. It's building the kind of strength you're going to need when you reach the top. The problem is most people don't want to climb. They want the reward without the struggle. They want success without the sacrifice. They want greatness without the grind. But it doesn't work that way. If you want to reach the top, you have to be willing to endure the process. You have to be willing to struggle, to fail, to hurt, and still keep moving. You have to want it bad enough to push through the pain. Nobody said the climb would be easy. Nobody said you wouldn't get tired, that you wouldn't feel like quitting, but the people who make it to the top are the ones who refuse to stop. They feel the pain, but they keep going. They get knocked down, but they get back up. You have to develop that kind of mindset. You have to decide that no matter what happens, you are going to keep climbing. No matter how tired you get, no matter how hard it gets, no matter who betrays you, no matter how many times you fail, You are not going to stop. Some of you have dreams, goals, things you've been praying for, but you haven't been willing to do the work. You want the view from the top, but you haven't been willing to climb. You want the success, but you haven't been willing to push through the struggle. You have to stop looking for an easy way. You have to stop waiting for someone to carry you. You have to stop crying and start climbing. The pain you feel right now is not the end of your story. It is part of the process. It is proof that you are in the middle of something great. But you have to keep going. You have to push through. You have to believe that every step, every struggle, every ounce of pain is bringing you closer to the top. The mountain is not going to move for you. The only way to conquer it is to climb step by step, inch by inch, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how heavy the weight feels, no matter how long it takes. Keep climbing, keep pushing, keep going, because the view from the top is worth every ounce of pain it took to get there. Pain changes people. It shifts the way they see the world, the way they move, the way they think. Some people let pain destroy them. They let it turn them into bitter, angry, broken versions of themselves. They let it rob them of their joy, steal their confidence, and kill their dreams. But others use pain as fuel. They take every ounce of hurt, every disappointment, every betrayal, and they turn it into power. That's the difference between people who rise and people who stay stuck. It's not that one group experiences more pain than the other. It's not that life is any easier for the people who succeed. The difference is in how they handle it. Most people don't realize it, but pain is a teacher. Pain is a test. It reveals who you really are. It strips away the fake, the comfortable, the easy, and forces you to face the truth. Some people run from that truth. They numb themselves, distract themselves, find ways to avoid dealing with the pain. They blame other people, make excuses, stay stuck in the same cycles year after year because they refuse to learn from what they've been through. But the people who succeed, the people who grow, the people who become unstoppable, those are the ones who look pain in the face and say, teach me. They don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They don't waste energy complaining. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I use this to become better, stronger, wiser? Pain is never pointless. It always has a purpose. The problem is most people never find it because they're too focused on the hurt. They're too busy replaying what happened, too busy being angry, too busy living in the past. But if you shift your focus, if you stop looking at pain as something that happened to you and start seeing it as something that happened for you, everything changes. Pain forces you to grow. It forces you to become stronger than you ever thought you could be. It forces you to level up. Think about the hardest moments of your life, the moments that broke you, that made you question everything, that made you feel like you wouldn't survive. Now think about who you became after those moments. Think about how much you learned, how much you changed, how much stronger you became. Every great person has been through pain. Every champion has scars. Every success story is built on a foundation of struggle, heartbreak, and failure. The difference is they didn't let the pain stop them. They let it shape them. They let it mold them into the person they were destined to be. Most people are so afraid of pain that they avoid it at all costs. They stay in toxic relationships because they don't want to feel the pain of leaving. They stay in jobs they hate because they're scared of the discomfort that comes with chasing something greater. They avoid risks, avoid challenges, avoid anything that might make them uncomfortable. And in doing so, they stay the same. They never grow. They never evolve. Pain is not the enemy. Comfort is. Growth does not happen in comfort. Strength is not built in comfort. The greatest versions of yourself can only be unlocked through struggle, through discomfort, through pain. Look at your life. Look at the things that hurt you, the things that broke you, the things that you wish never happened. Now ask yourself, are you using that pain? Or is that pain using you? Is it making you bitter or is it making you better? Is it holding you back or is it pushing you forward? Some of you have been carrying pain for too long. You've been holding on to it, letting it weigh you down, letting it define you. But pain is not meant to be carried. It is meant to be used. It is meant to be fuel. It is meant to push you into your next level. The strongest people you know didn't get that way because life was easy for them. They got that way because they learned how to take pain and turn it into strength. They took every betrayal, every loss, every failure, and used it as motivation. They refused to let it break them. You have that same choice. You can let your pain break you, or you can let it build you. You can let it turn you into a victim, or you can let it turn you into a warrior. You can let it keep you stuck, or you can use it to launch yourself into a whole new level. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be. But if you can learn to see pain differently, if you can learn to use it instead of being used by it, there is nothing that can stop you. Think about fire. Fire can destroy, but it can also refine. It can burn things to the ground, but it can also purify gold. It all depends on how it is used. Pain is the same way. It can destroy you, or it can refine you. It can break you, or it can build you. It all comes down to how you choose to use it. Some of the greatest inventions in the world were created because of pain. Some of the greatest leaders in history rose to power because of pain. Some of the most powerful people you know turned their pain into their purpose. They didn't let it make them weak. They didn't let it make them give up. They let it drive them. They let it push them to become better, to fight harder, to rise higher. Pain is a test. It's a test of your mindset, a test of your strength, a test of how bad you really want it. Most people fail that test because they're looking for an escape instead of looking for the lesson. They just want the pain to stop. They want the struggle to end. They want relief. But the people who make it, the people who succeed, they're the ones who don't run from the pain. They're the ones who lean into it, embrace it, and let it shape them into something stronger. You have to stop fearing pain. You have to stop running from it. You have to stop seeing it as something that's holding you back and start seeing it as something that's preparing you. You have to start using it, the pain of betrayal, the pain of rejection, the pain of failure. None of it is wasted if you choose to learn from it. None of it is in vain if you use it to grow. Some of you are waiting for the pain to go away before you move forward. You're waiting for things to get easier before you start. But life doesn't work like that. Growth doesn't work like that. You have to move forward through the pain. You have to push forward even when it hurts. You have to decide that your future is more important than your feelings. You are not weak because you've been hurt. You are not broken because you've been through pain. You are stronger than you think. You are capable of more than you realize. But you have to be willing to use what you've been through. You have to be willing to take the lessons, take the strength, take the fire, and turn it into something unstoppable. Everything you've been through has prepared you for what's next. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, it wasn't wasted. It was building you. It was molding you. It was creating a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever before. But you have to choose to use it. You have to choose to rise. You have to choose to turn your pain into power. There's a reason why the pain was necessary. There's a reason why they had to betray you, why they had to lie to you, why they had to walk away. There's a reason why you had to struggle, why the doors had to close, why the opportunities didn't work out. You may not see it right now, but everything that hurt you was actually working for you. It wasn't there to destroy you. It was there to push you to the next level. Too many people get stuck in their pain because they don't understand the purpose behind it. They look at what happened and all they see is the hurt, the disappointment, the struggle. But what if you started looking at it differently? What if you started seeing every painful experience as something that was setting you up for something greater? What if the things that broke you were actually building you? Pain is a tool. It is not random. It is not meaningless. It is designed to develop you, to strengthen you, to prepare you for what's coming next. The problem is most people never realize that. Most people spend so much time being bitter about what happened that they never take the lesson. They waste energy being angry at the people who hurt them instead of using that energy to grow. They stay focused on the pain instead of focusing on the power that pain was trying to unlock. Think about it. The greatest transformations in life happen through struggle. Growth does not come from comfort. Strength is not built in ease. Nothing powerful, nothing great, nothing extraordinary ever came from someone who had it easy. Every successful person you see today, every leader, every champion, every world changer has a story of struggle, of pain, of heartbreak, but instead of letting that pain define them, they used it to refine them. Look at a seed. It cannot grow until it is buried. It cannot become what it is meant to be until it is placed in the dirt, in the darkness, under pressure. But the dirt is not there to kill the seed. It is there to activate the potential inside of it. It is there to force the roots to grow deeper, to prepare the seed for the strength it will need when it finally breaks through. Some of you have been buried. You've been placed in the dirt, surrounded by darkness, feeling like you're suffocating. But what if this is not the end? What if this is just the beginning of your growth? What if everything you are going through right now is necessary for you to become what you were always meant to be? Every storm has a purpose. The winds, the rain, the chaos, they are not random. They are there to shake things up, to move things, to clear a path. Sometimes the storm comes to remove things from your life that were never meant to stay. Sometimes the storm comes to expose what's weak, what needs to be rebuilt, what needs to be strengthened. Some of you have been praying for growth, praying for success, praying for your next level, but then you complain when the storm comes. You say you want to be great, but then you resist the process that makes you great. You say you want to be strong, but then you try to avoid everything that builds strength. You can't have one without the other. You can't ask for success and then refuse to go through the fire that prepares you for it. Fire does two things. It destroys or it refines. The same fire that burns a house to the ground is the fire that purifies gold. The difference is in how the fire is used. Some people let their pain destroy them. They let the fire break them, weaken them, make them give up. But others step into the fire and let it refine them. They take the pain, the betrayal, the heartbreak, and they let it burn away everything that's holding them back. They let it shape them into something stronger, something wiser, you have a choice. You can let your pain be the reason you stop, or you can let it be the reason you go harder. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. You can let it make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. Nobody who ever changed the world did it without going through something. Nobody who ever reached greatness did it without struggle. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before he invented the light bulb. Every single one of them had moments where they could have quit. Every single one of them had moments where the pain was so great, the disappointment so heavy, the obstacles so overwhelming that they could have given up. But they didn't. They took the pain and used it as fuel. They let the struggle shape them instead of destroy them. You have that same power, but you have to shift your mindset. You have to stop looking at your pain like it's the end of the story. You have to stop focusing on who hurt you, what went wrong, what didn't work out. You have to start seeing everything you've been through as training, as preparation, as the fire that's refining you. Some of you have been waiting for things to get easier before you move forward. You've been waiting for the pain to go away, waiting for the struggle to end, waiting for everything to fall into place. But that's not how life works. The people who succeed are the ones who move forward through the pain, the ones who keep going even when it hurts, the ones who refuse to let their struggle define them. If you want to be great, you have to be willing to endure the process. You have to be willing to go through the storm, through the fire, through the darkness. You have to stop praying for an easy life and start praying for the strength to handle whatever comes your way. Because the truth is, the pain isn't here to stop you. It's here to prepare you. Every rejection, every failure, every loss, it wasn't a setback. It was a setup. It was making you stronger. It was building resilience. It was teaching you the lessons you needed to learn. Some of the things you've been crying about, some of the things you thought were ruining your life were actually saving you. That job that didn't work out, that relationship that ended, that opportunity that fell through, it wasn't a punishment. It was protection. It was making space for something greater, but you will never see it if you keep focusing on the pain. You will never step into your next level if you keep looking back at what hurt you. You have to let it go. You have to stop letting the past hold you hostage. You have to stop waiting for life to be fair and start making the most of what you have. The truth is, life is going to keep throwing challenges at you. You're going to keep facing struggles, setbacks, and disappointments. But the question is, how will you respond? Will you let the fire consume you? Or will you let it refine you? Will you let the pain break you, or will you use it to make you stronger? Your next level is on the other side of this pain. Your breakthrough is on the other side of this struggle. But you have to be willing to push through. You have to be willing to endure. You have to be willing to take everything that tried to destroy you and use it as fuel to go harder, to go further, to become the version of yourself that you were always meant to be.